colleagues at the head table, members of the media, and most importantly, the residents of this community. I'm very happy that we can be here today to share with you good news and the plans as we work together to seek to uplift the lives and improve the living conditions of residents across the country. Sometime last year, we had stop-by meetings in Parfait and one community tent. And during those meetings, a number of concerns were raised that affected the lives of the residents. Topping the list at that time was greater access to water, better access to roads and drainage, and very importantly, the cattle nuisance or the strays. Those were the three priority areas that we identified. Then, as we further enhanced the scheme with the addition of 1,000 lots in Alneming and almost 600 lots in Schoonard last year, it became necessary for us to also address our minds to an alternative entrance and exit to the Parfait housing scheme. A lot of residents at that meeting spoke about the 21 bump road, and this is not bumped in terms of potholes, but in terms of speed humps. And then the pressure on the canal pullers, Canal Number 1 road, to take off the traffic. In addition to that, the traffic volume continues to grow, and the single bridge that gives access from the Canal 1 road went into a state that required urgent attention. At that meeting, we assured residents on a number of initiatives that we're going to pursue in order to have the concerns addressed in the 2011 budget. So I'm very happy to report to you that, one, as it relates to the water sector, we have completed a new well in Parfait Harmony. We spent more than $70 million on having a new well completed in Parfait Harmony. Then we have completed the design and the tendering of the bridge that gives access to this community from Canal Number 1 road. Very shortly, that contract will be awarded, and we'll be back here again in a position to sign the contract for the commencement of works on that bridge. And the works on that bridge would include, would basically be a reinforced concrete structure that can take off withstand heavy weight, and it will be in the same width of a two-lane traffic. So you'll be having your bridge, and the alternative access, as I said, we were negotiating with the private sector to have, and the private sector here was Darfur's, because they own the land, a lot of the land that is from the La Grande side, maybe a few minutes away from the Demar Harbor Bridge, where we are planning to put the alternative access that will come all the way down into the scheme. I'm very happy to report that negotiations on that front has advanced well, and we are in the process of completing the designs for that alternative road. And long before the end of this year, we're going to have works commenced on that road. So Parfait Harmony is going to become a scheme second to none. I tell people, you look at Diamond, you look at the banks that is going up there, you ain't seen nothing yet. Parfait Harmony, today we had a meeting with a number of private companies, including courts, number of the banks. All of them came in to discuss with us the future plans of their expansion into Parfait Harmony, because they see the potential. They see the potential that this scheme has. At that meeting, we made it very clear that the areas that we will target as we complete the infrastructure are the areas that would have 75 occupancy rate. And those are the areas that we're starting with today. So I want to tell you that you now have your water addressed, the alternative access addressed, the roads issues addressed, and the access bridge addressed. And these were the burning issues affecting the residents. There's one outstanding issue, and that is the strays. And we had meetings with the RDC and LDC, and I think they are now trying, we have the legislative framework in place, but they are now trying to find stray catchers. So, and the stray catchers are paid well these days, in accordance to the new law. So we can deal with this matter. It's a very serious matter. It's not only damaging personal property and private property, but it's damaging the infrastructure that we are putting in place. So, I'm very happy to be here under these conditions today. The last time we were here, we were only discussing concepts and initiatives, but today we're moving the step a bit further. But let me say that the regional chairman said that this is a signing ceremony between the ministry and the contractors. That is least important. Today is a signing ceremony, a pact between the people of this community, the ministry, and the contractors whose services are paid for and procured so that they can deliver to us a service that is of high quality in accordance with the specifications of the contract. That is important. This is not a signing ceremony behind the door or in a boardroom between a contractor and the government. This is a pact between the people and ourselves. And that is why I'm happy to see so many faces here. Because the mere fact that you're out here sends a strong message to the contractor that you are interested in the works that are going to be done and you're going to be watching. And this is what we want. So we're going to do two things. We're going to leave on price copy of the bill, one with the RDC and one with the residents in the various streets. Our engineer is going to identify those residents so that you will watch and you will also look at what is being delivered to you. You will help us in that process. And as soon as you find them going out of line, astray from the contractual obligation and the standards that is set out in the bill, we want you to get on to us. We want you to get on to us so that we can stop them in their tracks. Alright? Remember, this is about your future. This is not about anyone who does not have a permanent interest in the development of the community. These roads are here, you know the hardship that you went through. These roads are here for your benefit, for our benefit, so that we can have better living conditions. And when we invest money, we must have return, we must have value. And we want you to work with us in ensuring that we have this value. The chairman also mentioned the whole fact that the reasoning behind us now completing this aspect of the work. But you have to remember when we first started the housing program, it's based on economy. It's based not only on land, but it's based on the financial resources, the human resources that are available to you. And based on the financial resources that was available at that time, we had a level of infrastructure developed. Then we set the condition that to move to an advanced and final level, we need to have 75% occupancy. And today, these roads that we will be completing will satisfy that they reach that 75% occupancy level. And it will mean that more than 63% of the road network in Parfait will have the final treatment, and we are working on the others. The NDC and the RDC has a very important role to play. And that role does not only mean when the ministry comes in here, they come in with us. They have an important role to ensure that they keep contact with the community, to ensure that they come and consult the community, to listen to the community, to work with the community, so that they can have your concerns and your views, and they can feed it back to us at the central level. So I would like to see the RDC and the NDC work with the residents in this area in ensuring that the little irritants that affect their day-to-day lives are addressed. A very important issue I want to take this opportunity to raise, is that of building contractors. We have the infrastructure contractors here. But we are receiving a lot of reports to the ministry of a lot of building contractors fleecing the builders, fleecing the people who are building their homes. And I use the word very harshly because that is what it is. Because of the boom in the building sector, in the construction sector today, contractors are finding it very easy to get a lot of work. And when they get the work, sometimes they abandon people's homes to go and start another job. And we have to address this. This is a major issue that we have to address. And the level of complaints that we are receiving has now necessitated our active intervention into this issue. And we're going to look at different regulations governing builders and contractors, how they can be licensed, how the license can be suspended, whether we can develop a national database of all these contractors, and based on their performance they are rated, and people can go online and they can give comments. If you see contractor X name there, you can say, don't do business with this man, and based on your experience. And these models exist around the world, so we can share information. We want to share information. Access to information and sharing of information is critical if you're to address this issue. I want to encourage those persons who are building to enter into contract with the contractors. A lot of times they get away with what they do because you don't have a contract with them. There is no written contract, so you can't hold them to any contractual obligations. And I'm going to task my engineers and the CEO of the Central Housing and Planning Authority to draft a basic building contract. Basic building contract. So that persons who would like to see what a contract should look like between yourself and the contractor can go on our website and access a draft contract document, and you can just download it, print it out, and have it signed. So it can protect you. It can protect you against the builders. And the builders can also be protected, because sometimes there's the other side of the coin where builders are not paid, where builders are asked to do substandard work against the ethics of the profession to save money. But we have to have the codes and standards implemented. And we're going to work on this, work on putting the basic standard. We already had a document printed that we shared with the commercial banks, that we shared at all the one-stop shops, on all the basic guidelines, the basic code, what the basic things to look for when you're building. We're going to put that on our website so that the general public can get this information.